Welcome, Amakhosi Network. Welcome to the channel. Cheese one. We're happy about that, but the news following that was it was a tough news to swallow. But yeah, let's get to it. We're gonna do ratings today, and please subscribe to the channel. Thank you to those who have subscribed. Hey, but yesterday when I was looking at my YouTube, I saw something crazy, guys. It apparently says 96% of the people who watch this channel are not subscribed. I was like 96%. Oh, course, yeah, that is just too much. All right, guys, subscribe, please. Please, if you're enjoying, subscribe. But anyway, let's get to it. Cheese played a game. Cheese looked way, way better. We're not saying everything is perfect. We're not saying we like everything about the team. We're not saying we now believe we normally in Tseki. But the one thing we all say is that there were more positives from yesterday than there have been in the past. Since preseason, there were more positives. Everything just looked to be better, but it's not perfect. It's not perfect. And sometimes when something is not perfect, you realize, Guti, our squad is not complete and we still need to beef up. But I'll get to that, guys. But anyway, welcome to the channel. Thank you, everyone. But let me kick it off. Goalkeeper Peterson, he didn't have much to do, but one thing I'll tell, and this is, I know some people don't like this comment, but one reason why I say Peterson is better than Bavuma is positioning. Peterson knows how to position himself way better. Ubavuma, that is his one problem. One problem is that his positioning is very bad. So then he concedes very simple goals because he just doesn't position himself well. And Ukune, it seems like he's coming to terms with the fact that he's aging, so he can't do reflex saves the way he likes to and stuff like that. But Peterson, I'll give him I'll give him a 6 to 6.5 because he did very well when he needed to, but he sometimes loses concentration. That's why I wanted to say 6. But yeah, 6.5 I think is good enough. Hlanti kept fouling those guys for days. Uhlanti, I'll give a straight. You know what? I'll give Uhlanti because he saved us in the end and stuff like that. He did some good work, so I'll give him a 6, but it wasn't his best performance. So a part of me wants to actually give him a 5.5 because Uhlanti was getting destroyed. Actually, let me just give him a 5.5 because Uhlanti was getting destroyed on the right. It's just that the Cape Town City decided not to utilize that in the second half. So they didn't put pressure on Hlanti, which was their own problems. We won't complain. Defensive midfielders, Msimango, I'll give him a 7. He did well. He's very composed, etc., etc. And I'm worried. Utitlokwe also had his injury, and he's good. He's a good player, but I'm worried that he's taking time, Utitlokwe, to adapt. So when I say to adapt, I feel like there's been many moments where players catch him out, where he's not reading the game, etc., etc. I think we also that one chance where Kanyisa Mayo almost scored because Utitlokwe was sleeping. And those moments were dangerous because if Kanyisa Mayo comes behind you and you don't realize, it's so easy that you can clip him and then it's a penalty or he scores, which yesterday we're happy that Kanyisa Mayo missed. But yeah, Utitlokwe had an okay performance. I'll give him 6. But one thing I saw in yesterday's game is that he's also one of those center backs that are also lacking pace. So he's not as bad as we've seen some of our other center backs, but he's lacking pace. So I'll give him a 6. Riflosa, I give a 7.5. He is defensively, he's been very solid. And I like how he moves into the midfield now and then when we're playing to support the midfield. That thing it's nice, but like I always say, my issue with the right back and the left back is that we give the wingers of the opposition too much space. And when we give them too much space, it ends up killing us because these guys find it so easy to get closer to our box, but we don't find that benefit. We have to work to get to our position box, but because our wingers give these guys so much space, these guys can literally get to our box in like 2 touches and they're in our box. But as you saw yesterday, Usaile, when he gets the ball, he can't get to the box because the defenders are blocking. So he has to use his pace to like beat people. So that's the one thing I'll say about Riff Flosser, and just the technical team need to fix. Castillo, I gave 7.5. He scored and then he was working. Actually, I want to give him a 7. His first half wasn't the best, but he made us play and he was going forward, etc., etc. Like I've always said, Castillo, I don't believe is a natural defensive midfielder. I think Castillo is more of an attacking center mid that has defensive qualities. So because he has defensive qualities, he can bulldoze people in the park, but it's not to say his natural position is a DM. That's my opinion. And that's what I'm when I look at him. So Castillo, I give him a 7 because there were moments in the game where he was just not in the game, but when he was in the game, we looked like a much better team. Uh, Next player, Umad. Umad, I'll give a 7 as well. Umat, I'll give a 7. And I know a lot of you will say, but why Uzum Simango? Actually, Umat, why Uzum Simango 7.5, but because he's leading the back so well. I think there's things no one sees. If you ever watch the Chiefs game again, I wish anyone who's watching, just for once, just look at how Simango communicates with the back line. That is very important. Kune at his best, like Utumeleng Kune, where at his best, that is what he did. He knew how to talk to the defense. About Defo Mashamaite, that's why he was a good leader. He also knew how to do that. So that's what we need to do with. That's what Umsimang was good at. But yeah, Umat, I want to give a 7. A lot of people are saying 7.5. Matt, defensively, he was very good. Defensively, he was very good and he spread those passes very well. But Matt is still that Matt position where we get a very defensive midfielder is one we need to fix, because it's like sometimes you wish you could find a more defensive Castillo, but that has a Castillo brain in attack. Because Umad, if you can fix his way of finding our players in attack, I think it will make life a bit easier for our creators. Because if we can create from both center defensive midfielders as well, it will function. Because as many of loyal Chiefs fans know, the issue we always had with Ukatsande is that Ukatsande made Uyeye work too hard. Uyeye was umudimo ball, but Ukatsande would never be able to create anything, etc., etc. So if Uyeye had a bad day, we just had a bad day in the middle. So that's what we try to avoid by making Umat be more creative, look more forward. And sometimes a lot of you have been saying, put in Samkelo Zwane, and I keep telling you guys, Samkelo Zwane is definitely better than Matt at spraying passes and playing the forward pass. But the issue of Samkelo Zwane is that Samkelo Zwane can't defend. And that is the main job of a defensive midfielder. Before you even look in attack, main job is to know how to defend, know how to close down. If you don't know how to do that, then you are Mbobonje. People can just walk past you. And that is an issue. We can't have people just doing matanda in the middle of the park. They need to work for everything they get there. And with Samkelo Zwane, that's where his game needs to go. He needs to start being better in defense. But yeah, so Umat, I just want to give a 7 because of that. His forward passing needs to improve. Even though yesterday there were 1 or 2 long balls that he played very well, but we need more, Matt. You can't put everything on Castillo's shoulders. And then Modi had an okay game. I'll just give him a 6. I don't want to say too much. Umodi is coming from a tough time. I feel like if there's one player I want to give time, it's Umodi, because he lost his mom. He's in a new team. He's in Joburg for the first time. He was always not for the first time, but like he's in Joburg now with a big team. Is it playing, coming from Arrows, a smaller team, etc. So now he's under a place where there's a lot of pressure and he doesn't have a supporting structure that he had before. So with him, I think he will come right with time. So I don't want to put pressure on him. So I'll just give him a 6. But yeah, Modi will come right with time. Ashley Dupree, who has 7.5. He did very well. But in the second half, if we lost this game against Cape Town City, Ashley Dupree would be to blame somewhat, because in the second half he got very good chances when he was now playing on the left, but his finishing was too easy. Ukit was just grabbing the balls because he was predicting everything Ashley was doing. So Ashley still has to improve finishing. If Ashley can improve finishing, there's no way he can't reach 20 goals in a season for Kaizer Chiefs because of the chances he gets. The chances he get yesterday, actually, Ashley was meant to have 2 goals, at least, at least 2 goals, but he had only one. So yeah, Ashley must get goals and position himself better. But he was a good player, and I like his engine. 7.5. Potsani, I give 6.5. 6.5, he had a good game, etc. But he didn't finish one chance, which I didn't like, that he didn't try to finish. And if you're not gonna finish, the pass you're laying to your teammate must meet the teammate. It must go directly to your teammate. So you know what you try to pass. But now if you just pass in there for the sake of passing, we don't want that. But beyond that, there's things that people don't see Upotsani doing. Upotsani makes us play. Upotsani, you know, one thing last season that was there that people don't realize is that last season all teams playing against Chiefs only had to worry about the pace of Dupree. But now with the runs Upotsani makes, the runs that Umodi makes, and the runs that Dupree makes, and even when Usaile comes, the runs that Usaile makes, it means that everyone must be awake for when Chiefs is playing, because Chiefs can hit you with long balls and whatever, etc., etc. I'll get to the long balls. I don't like all these long balls. I think this how Dupree was passing Umodi is how we should be passing the ball on the ground. Make life easy. Let's not do this long ball thing. This long ball thing, yeah, Dina, because we end up losing possession, the ball, and we lose easy chances. But yeah, hey, I almost forgot. But yeah, Upotsani 6.5. I almost forgot Umtanzani, I wanna give a 7. There's a lot of things people do, a 6.5 to 7. There's a lot of things people didn't see about Umtanzani, but Umtanzani work rate was like almost like he was playing a role similar to Udupri. Umdantsane was in the midfield. Umdantsane was in the striking force. Umdantsane was helping on the left. Umdantsane was helping on the right. Umdantsane was a second striker at some point. This is what we need of a number 10. A number 10 is like a player who has no role. Number 10 is a player who they say when you must just go and make things happen. And that's what happened. That's how we got the chance here to pre. He was on the right. So you see, if he was on the right and he was deep in our field, he was on the right, helping assisting defense. Then the pass came, Tanzania released. Tanzania released so many people, but it wasn't his best game, because there's many chances where he released and it could have been a better pass, etc. But he made us play. One thing I will say that I've seen from Kaizer Chiefs is that the players we have now are ball playing players. So when we just kick the ball in the air, we're wasting the talent that these guys have. Mtanzane Modi, Potsani, Ashley Dupree, they like the balls at their feet. Once Usaile gets his running right, because Usaile likes running on the line, they must force him to start doing the runs that Potsani and Ashley were doing, where they run more to the center than out wide. It will give Saile more chance to get scoring chances. So those are the things that I'll say are good. The substitutions, the substitutions, they didn't happen too early, but the one player I want to highlight is Unjabulo Ngobo. He came in and he was perfect. When I say perfect, I'm like, we didn't feel good. Our defense dropped. It felt like our defense got even better because he was he's comfortable. Unqobo is comfortable on the ball. We all know that. So he was comfortable on the ball, and he was making sure we play. We play even on from the back sometimes, etc. So Unqobo, I'll give him a 6.5. He had a good game, but there wasn't enough time. But he had a good game. But the one thing I want out of Unqobo is that now that he's been given a chance to play more this season, he must own that position. Never lose that position. Never lose it. Never. Take it for your own and tell everyone, Guti, I'm gonna take this position so badly that I'm even going to take the armband if I have to. That's what Ngobo has to do. Usaile, we all saw what he did, created an assist. And he was a problem. He hit the post, he created an assist, so Usaile was a problem. So for that, even though he didn't play too much time, we give him a 7. He did well. Because he basically helped finish the game for us. Yeah, Usaile will give him that. And then with regards to, it's sad that we didn't get to see Samkezwane, but it was one of those games where, yeah, it was very tight. You didn't want someone who's going to. It was a difficult game to like just throw anyone on. I remember at some point, Umdu was changing, Umdu Shabalala was changing, and they told him to put back his keeper, and then they didn't bring him on. Hey, I was sad for the boy, but at least it worked out. Oranga, he had more decent touches. When I say more decent touches, I'm like, at least he created, because there was a point he helped create a chance with Dupree where Usaile hit the post. That was basically Uranga joining that play. So it shows Guti Uranga Gangane is getting there, but I still have one issue with Uranga. He needs to get into the box and he needs to work on his movement. When you're playing with fast players, you need to figure out how you're playing. The reason why I say this is that people don't realize that Lewandowski is not the fastest player in the world. But because he knows how to make movements around the box, he finds himself in good position, and that's what Uranga needs to do. But it's still early days. I won't judge Uranga. So yeah, guys, those are the ratings. And yeah, we're gonna be playing Sundowns. You know what? If we ever gonna win an MTN 8, rather let's win it having beaten the best teams. Let it be like that. Cape Town City is always beating us for whatever reason. We beat it. We're gonna go Sundowns, play 2 home and away games. We're gonna play our home and away game, 2 games. Let's beat them in both games. And then whoever comes in the final, we beat them. Then we know Guti. Going to the final, we are going to winning the MTN 8. We beat Cape Town City, a voodoo team of Chiefs. We beat Sundowns, the team that is basically beating everyone. And then most likely we then beat Pirates in the finals, our rivals. I would rather have that story than to say we went the easy way. Let's beat everyone. So yeah, Sundowns is coming. Everyone, let's be ready. And yeah, I know I may have missed some topics, may have missed some points. But yeah, like I said, our game needs to improve. Our game still has imbobo, and one of them is our long balls. We can't just be hitting long balls all the time. It has to make sense, and our middle of the park needs to play. And what I was saying, we still need to... what we saw in this game that was highlighted, but I know our management team did not see it because they choose to see what they want to see. But one of the things I want to highlight is that Kaizer Chiefs still has a lot of things to fix. Defensive midfielder, we still need one. If we get Thabo Cele, it's better. It's better because someone who knows that position in and out, rather that still need Thabo Cele. We still need another left back. I don't know what we're going to do about a left back because there aren't many good left backs currently in the league. So that's going to be very difficult. One can say we still need another striker, which Angetu Gonzalez is coming. So that is what people would say. Gonzalez is coming. And we may still need another goalkeeper because I'm not happy about our goalkeeping department. So I think we still need that. And the right wing is looking a bit better, but yeah, if it was me, I would have tried to get like Umduduzo Sibia or get that Cape Town Stellenbosch boy or Antonio van Veek. Those are the things that we need to boost in our team. But yeah, other than that, one more point I wanted to make is the center backs. I feel like Chiefs now needs to be grooming a youngster that is going to come in and fight for the center backs. When I say that, we know Kumete is training with Kaizer Chiefs, the boy who was also part of the Bafana squad. So they need to start grooming that boy to come in because I feel like an injury to Simango or Titlokwe, hey, we're gonna find ourselves in a problem because then we're gonna have to bring in Nukwinika and Ish. That is Nkinga. But yeah, tell me what your guys' thoughts are. And what did you think of the game? Are you happy? Do you think things are positive? Tell me.